February is one of the coldest months of the year, and I'm tired of not being able to use this when I'm wearing this. It's time we fix that right now. Dead Souls, this is how it goes with Dead Souls. Hey, before we get started, this episode is brought to you by Elitist Eyewear. Not only do they have hand-picked designer fashion eyewear, there's also bags and shoes and so much more. And I have a coupon for you. Put in the code DAD10 at checkout and you'll get 10% off your order. All right, let's get on with the episode. Greetings, sociopaths. As always, I truly appreciate you stopping by here. Well, I just got a voicemail from my kid's school because after school activities tomorrow have been canceled because it's going to snow. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of attached to this thing. I have 4 kids and a wife I have to keep up with, right? Plus the internet and audiobooks, but we'll talk about my addiction later. I want to be able to use this with all of my gloves. Now, granted, you can buy touch-sensitive gloves, but not all of the gloves you own are touch-sensitive. And maybe you have homemade mittens at home, or maybe your kids' gloves need to be able to operate a smartphone. So we're going to solve that problem right now. Before we go any further, I have a link in the show notes below where you can buy the conductive thread I'm going to use. I know this is hard to believe, but people are selling fakes out there. That's right, you'll see metal thread that's really just silver thread, or it might even be marked as conductive and it's not. But this is. Now, it's not cheap. It comes in this little bobbin here. I'll show it on the overhead camera. I bought 2 of them. It's not the cheapest thread in the world, but it's also not crazy expensive because you're only going to use so much of it. I have a link below. Check it out. It's the best price for quality that I could find. All right, now how do you know if you've got fake thread or not? Well, first of all, you buy from the link below. But second of all, you can take some of the thread like I'm going to do now. We're going to take it and we're going to wrap it around something plastic like these scissor handles. Now, watch, these scissor handles will not light up my phone, okay? So I'm going to take the scissor handles just like this, and I'm going to put my finger here, and I'm going to wrap this conductive thread. Now, it doesn't look that shiny. It just looks gray, but it has material in it that makes it conductive. So I'm going to hold it here. We'll get my phone back out and there it goes. There's the current book I'm reading. Check it out, it's really good. All right, the first thing we need to do is figure out where we need this thread to go. So let's go ahead and put on our mitten. These are actually my wife's, and I want to make sure that I get it in the right spot, okay? So I'm going to pinch that on the inside. You want to do it where your finger's going to actually move around and you have some dexterity there. All right, right there. We're going to pinch this right on the inside and we're going to turn it inside out. Now, a lot of you might be saying, hey, Dad Sews, hey, Christian Lee, I know how to sew. I'm good for the rest of the video. I can skip this. Hey, maybe stick around because I do have a couple tips on this thread, okay? First of all, it's not easy to get on the needle. That's right, it's actually really thick and grippy, and it makes it a little hard to get on the needle. All right, I'm going to tie it in a few knots right here to make it harder for it to come loose. Not only is it a little thick, like I said, it's kind of grabby. It's kind of thick, so it gets twisted up very easily. When you're pulling it off of that little bobbin, it kind of spins together and kind of gets locked up. So you want to be careful with it, and you don't want to like lube it up or anything, but it doesn't flow as easily as thin thread. Now, how can you check your thread to make sure it works other than the way we did it by wrapping it around a pair of scissors or anything plastic? Well, you can use a volt checker. People call it a voltmeter, voltometer. If you or your husband works on cars, if they're an electrician, if you're an electrician, you can definitely check it with that. Now, I turned it inside out so that our knot is on the inside here, as you can see. but we definitely want to make sure we make through all the layers. So I am going to use my finger on the other side, hopefully not stick it, and make sure that I'm coming through. In my opinion, the best thing you can do is to make an X. So try to follow through and make an X. I'm catching it on the whole mitt here. See, we have this nice line right there. And I'm gonna leave this string pretty long inside of my mitten because that's just gonna give us like another bit of conductivity with our finger. I don't want to trim away too much of this. I actually want it to stay pretty thick inside because the more purchase you have, if we're gonna use the old way of using the word purchase, now I'm gonna go on the other side of the X here, the more kind of purchase grab you have, you know, like getting a good finger hold on a rock climbing situation, that's the better for you. You want to be able to move your finger around, and you know how mittens are. They're going to slip and they're going to slide around on you. So get as much in there as you can. And of course, try to make it as neat as you can. Maybe sewing on camera isn't the best way to make it neat, but we're going to do our best. All right, now, before I cut this, I do want to turn it inside out really quick, make sure that I've got something there. All right, I do. Since I have something there, I'm going to double up right here. If you can see this, I'm just gonna loop it all around here. I'm not worrying about going all the way on through the front side of it. I'm just trying to put as much of this conductive thread as I can, okay? As much as I can, not worrying about going through. And that should be it right there. All right, you'll tie this off, but that's a little tedious to do on camera. Let's see if this works. All right, so we've got our thread right there. Now you see it looks a lot nicer on the outside. There we go. You can't even tell that it's there if you didn't know it was there. This stuff is great, and it's really great for items like this. So, in this quick video, can you get it to work? Let's see. Look at that! Look at that! It works great. So, follow the link in the show notes below. Don't forget to check your thread, even if you buy the stuff I've linked to. You want to make sure that they didn't send you the wrong thing. Maybe they just grabbed some silver or they grabbed some metallic and not conductive thread. It's a very specific thing. And no, if you've got shiny, like aluminum looking thread or tinsely looking thread, that's not going to work for you. This stuff also holds up against the body, so it's going to take the rubbing. That's why it's good that it's thick. It's going to take the sweat and all of those things. It doesn't just have a flaky finish on the outside, it's real conductive thread through and through. And then just put this on everything, because I get tired of doing this to wake up my phone in the wintertime. All right, thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to check out Elitist Eyewear. Put in the coupon code DAD10. Really, they've got some really awesome stuff, and I thank them for sponsoring this video, and I will see you with a new video very soon. Yeah, either way it works. Woohoo! Swiping. Just swiping. Are you still watching? I'm just going to play with my phone.